curious, awestruck. There are biological structures living on our planet right now that are so immense you can see them from low Earth orbit. Drop down from space and plunge beneath the surface, and that sheer scale translates into a bustling, densely packed underwater metropolis. But across the globe, these vibrant underwater cities are rapidly draining of color, leaving behind stark, bone-white ghost towns. To figure out how we are losing what scientists call the rainforests of the sea, we have to look past the stone-like exterior and find the animal living within. This visualization maps out a massive statistical paradox. Coral reefs cover roughly 1% of the total ocean floor, yet an astonishing 25% of all marine species rely directly on that tiny footprint to survive. It is easy to look at a reef and assume you are looking at colorful underwater rocks or exotic ocean plants. They are neither. They are living, breathing architectural megaprojects. And to see how they are built, you have to look through a microscope. Meet the true architect of the ocean, the coral polyp. It is a tiny, soft-bodied animal, closely related to jellyfish and anemones. Living in warm, shallow seawater, these polyps survive by extracting calcium carbonate dissolved in the ocean. They process this mineral to excrete a hard, cup-like limestone skeleton around their soft bodies for protection. When an older polyp dies, its hard outer shell remains. A new generation of polyps anchors directly on top, beginning to build its own. This stacking process occurs continuously over thousands of years. Multiply that action by billions of polyps, and you get the Great Barrier Reef, the Belize Barrier Reef, the vibrant Red Sea, reefs of the Maldives, and the coasts of India. The largest biological structures on Earth are ancient mountains of microscopic skeletons, capped by a living tissue layer barely a millimeter thick. A polyp's ability to build at this scale relies on a microscopic partner, an algae living directly inside its translucent tissue. It is a perfect trade. The algae acts like an internal solar panel, using sunlight to manufacture energy-rich food. In exchange, the polyp provides a highly secure, heavily fortified home. Because the polyp is mostly transparent, the brilliant reds, greens, yellows, and purples on a healthy reef come entirely from these internal algae cells. The entire macrostructure of the reef, and the survival of a quarter of all ocean life, relies entirely on this fragile, microscopic partnership holding steady. Today, that partnership is breaking down. Rising sea temperatures driven by climate change, combined with severe coastal pollution, are pushing these ecosystems past their biological limits. This diagram shows the reaction to heat stress. When the water gets too hot, the panicked polyp violently expels its food-producing algae. Stripped of these solar panels, the transparent tissue reveals only the stark white skeleton underneath, losing its color entirely. We call this specific event coral bleaching. A bleached coral is not dead yet, but it has lost its primary food source. The clock starts ticking immediately. If ocean temperatures do not cool down quickly enough for the algae to return, the microbuilders starve to death. The millennia-old ecosystem they support is doomed to follow. When the polyps die, the physical structure of the reef begins to crumble, triggering a catastrophic domino effect across the ocean. Without the complex architecture of the reef, thousands of marine species, crabs, shrimp, turtles, and octopuses lose their nurseries and habitats. The local marine food web collapses. The damage extends directly to land. Reefs act as vital seawalls, absorbing the immense kinetic energy of the ocean. Without them, coastal communities are left entirely unprotected from brutal ocean storms and eroding waves. This collapse ripples through the global economy. As fish nurseries vanish, so do the billion-dollar industries that feed the planet. We also lose a massive untapped chemical library. Many of our modern treatments for cancer and heart disease were found within the unique proteins of these reef organisms. Coral bleaching goes far beyond an environmental tragedy. It is the active dismantling of Earth's most critical oceanic infrastructure. The damage is widespread, but the science is clear. If we quickly remove the environmental stress, corals have a remarkable capacity to heal and rebuild. On a macro scale, humanity must drastically cut back its carbon emissions. Stabilizing global temperatures is the only way to stop the relentless heat waves boiling the oceans. Locally, we have to eliminate marine pollution. We must stop the relentless dumping of raw plastics and chemical waste that suffocates the polyps before they can even attempt to recover. We also need strict structural protections, which means rapidly expanding marine protected areas and rigidly enforcing sustainable fishing practices across the globe. The survival of the sea's lifeblood is now a shared human responsibility. If these reefs fall, the ocean's ability to sustain life, and our own, goes with them.